Hello everybody, good morning. Welcome to today's Train Sim World 2 live stream. We are on the Reisa to Dresden route, or I just call it the Dresden route. We are doing freight in the 185.5 MRCE, going from Reisa to Dresden. We have our map right there. Let's get in here, get our locomotive set up, and be on our way to Dresden. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. Right. Brakes all the way while we set up the cab. Pantograph is up. Circuit is closed, looks like. Just make sure. I don't think we need the cab lights. It's just the desk light. We can turn that off. I think we got enough natural light here. Let's just make sure we don't. Let's check our headlights. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and put some CIFA PZB on. Right, I think that should be it. Make sure we don't have any, we're not missing any brake keys or anything like that. Have a look outside here. There's our locomotive. We've got, looks like, it's like an intermodal service. The challenge, of course, is going to be getting this thing moving. Morning, Nick. How are you? We can get it going. I think I forgot anything. Oh, let me make sure. Yep, that's all released. See, it's interesting. We're on a flat land. We're on a flat grade. We're not. There we go. Oop. Now we're gonna get some wheel spin. There we go. It may just be that it was taking a little bit longer for the brakes to release as well. So, anyways, so I wanted to share with you all. I watched a very interesting documentary the other day, and now I'm not talking about get this release since we're... I watched a documentary about the painting person, and I don't know if you guys ever heard about him in the UK, but Bob Ross. And for those of you who don't know who he is, he did this show called The Joy of Painting, and it was talking about how he got started on the show and where he found his inspiration from and whatnot. And one of the things that they talked about in the documentary was why he chose to talk very softly. Part of it, now there's two parts of the story to that. One was that he was a drill instructor in the Air Force, and when he got out, he swore he would never yell at people like he did when he was a drill instructor. But also that the person whose sort of methodology, the video stuff, the shows that he created, the person who he worked with had a very kind of a crass voice. Yeah, he sure does, Mick. Good morning, Josh. And he talked about but the other thing too was that that person had a very shrill voice, kind of, was never very encouraging to the audience members. And that's what he was trying to do, be a little bit different in that respect. He wanted people to, and it's interesting that he would always say, you may think that you can't do this, but you can. All it takes is some dedication and some time, and you can do this. And I thought, it's interesting because a lot of people, if you think about this game, for instance, a lot of people give up on Sandpatch Grade. Oh, it's too difficult. I can't get the training, and I'm not going to waste my time. And then they just, it's like they get frustrated, and then the next words are, well, this route sucks. This route's boring. And and of course it's easy to say, well, that's your opinion, or if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Far be it from anybody to try to convince you otherwise. So but even when you try to tell people, hey, good morning, Bex, hey, you can do this. All it takes is just a bit of patience. And then you might find, oh wow, I actually really enjoy this. Many people sometimes say, well, Josh has said, oh, Rob's got a very calming, soothing voice. But I know also at the same time I can be very, I guess shrill. I can be very, off-putting when somebody wants something or whatever. And part of that is because I don't think I present myself as a complete fool when we're playing Train Simulator 2. I'm not perfect at it, but I try to do the best that I can. This is so, but if people had some encouragement, of course, that's up to them. You can encourage people to your blue in the face as well, and they may feel that they would never, they just can't be bothered. You know, they don't care what you try to show them or tell them. You know, work with them step by step sort of thing, because they're just never going. They just don't want to put the time in. But I thought, it'd be great if there was more people like that in the world that just say, hey, you may think you can't do this, but you can. You just have to keep at it and keep practicing. And next thing you know, you'll be doing your own thing. But anyway, yeah, check that out. It's on Netflix. It's kind of a sad story in a way that how people did him wrong in the end, because they were trying to cash in on his name. But yeah, really good documentary. So yeah, if you haven't, check out the Schumacher documentary for sure if you haven't already. But also check out the Bob Ross documentary. It's a bit eye-opening as well. But I do think the world needs a few more Bob Rosses in it, that's for sure. Right, we are just zipping right along here. Picking up some points along the way with these via points. Help us get our gold medal here. I think the 140 is the top. And this doesn't seem like it's going to take long for us to get there. Switcher. Yeah, I'm still kind of perplexed as to how somebody was pretending to be me in Joe's stream last night. Somebody was trying to be a bit cheeky and created a fake account. And of course everybody knew it wasn't me because there was no picture and there was no membership thing next to my name. Speedy speed, yeah. Look at that. Mine over on Twitch, you got the free 3 bots trying to ask if I want to be famous, and this is how you do it. Alright, so it goes 160, but then it drops back down to 120, because I did see that warning board back there. I don't know when, I would have thought we would have seen the marker already, so maybe it's for something else. Maybe it's not for our line, but for the line over there. Yeah, yeah, it's now another one. Wow. The bots are out in force over on Twitch today. I don't have that big of an audience, so bots can jog on. Yeah, I don't know what. I mean. You can't even be bothered to at least remotely pretend to be me. Ooh. Got that. Oh, yep. Yes. Okay, yeah, there we go. Just have it slow down a bit. Of course, it's going to slow down all the way. Second. Maybe I was supposed to be rolling 120. I didn't see didn't jump back down, but oh well. Anyways. Yeah, I wouldn't have known. I got a message from Ramella on Discord saying, hey, somebody's trying to impersonate you. So I did report them to YouTube. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a bagel at the same time. I don't want to be chewing in your ear or through your computer speakers or whatever. Well, I thought about that too, you know, because people say, you know, when people try to copy you, it's the sincerest form of flattery. But it seemed to me that whoever it wasn't, it was like they were typing in gibberish. So it was kind of like, oh, you know, to me that's what they were saying, that that's how I talk, is a bunch of gibberish. Now, you know, you brought up a valid point the other day, Nick, when I told you about it, is, you know, some people don't like hearing very honest things about what people say in the chat. You know, like people were saying, oh, well, how come we're not seeing you know, any kind of gameplay on Brighton the Mainline? Well, Natalie did put out, and I tried to find it, and I couldn't find it, but I know she posted something in the forum saying that Brighton Main Line would be delayed just a little bit. There would be a little bit more of a gap between Dresden and Brighton Main Line. Mainly, I think, to polish up a few things before the release, make sure they dot their I's and cross their T's as much as possible, check everything, recheck it, just to make sure that it's actually ready for release. Hello, Joseph. And so I pointed it out. I said they already made it clear that there would be a bit more of a gap. Oh, okay. It's like the people who come in, they don't want to hear anything like that. They want to be right in their minds, and they want validation that they're right. That, oh, they said this, and I know they said that. There was very clearly, it was told or said. So we won't see anything from the Brighton Main Line this Thursday. They're going to be talking more about the Train Sim World or Train Sim 2022, kind of thing. So that's what they're going to be previewing this Thursday, not the Brighton Main Line. But people don't. It's like they don't go to the source of information. They don't go to the Dovetail Games website, or if they do, they're certain that what they're being told is a bunch of malarkey. And Joe and a few other people are the ones who really know all the information. They're just going to crack the code one way or another. So yeah, that could very well may be that, I may have inadvertently rubbed some people the wrong way because I don't tolerate that sort of silliness, very well. There's plenty of ways for you to get your information straight from the source. I know Joe does his videos and puts out information as well, and it's all within the same framework as what Dovetail Games says. He's not going, I don't think he's going to try to go counter to what they are putting out there already. But a lot of people, they think that that's, there's no truth into what he's saying, or it's like they're waiting for the real truth to come out, not the whatever's said in the roadmap or whatever. So I don't know, but I am trying, but I'm very sarcastic now in the chat. Whenever I'm in Joe's stream, if you guys haven't, some of you haven't noticed, when somebody, like somebody said something in the chat the other day about they're playing Train Sim World 2, I think either they were on this route or they were on one of the routes or something, right? And I put in kind of cheekily, oh, I can't believe that, people are watching the Train Sim World 2 live stream and playing Train Sim World 2 at the same time. My mind's blown, because this is, I don't know if they want that, or the other one that people will do is, what route should I play in Train Sim World 2? Like they want Joe to tell them what to do, and I'm like, that's not very healthy. Because if somebody asked me, my answer would be 99.9% of the time, sand patch grade. not Reisa to Dresden or anything like that. It would be, do sand patch grade. And I guarantee you they wouldn't ask you. After a while, they wouldn't ask you more. They'd be like, well, I don't want to do sand patch grade. Well, that's my recommendation. You ask me what I should do, or what you should do, and my answer is sand patch grade. If you don't like the answer, well, I don't know what to tell you. But I guarantee you after a while they wouldn't ask you. So, and I was telling somebody this story, so we'll have a quick story time. As we were 17 kilometers from Dresden. So before I deployed to Iraq, we did a lot of casualty training. Okay? And basically it's you have to go out, you have a small team, one person, you'll rotate through. One person will be the medic, everybody else is kind of like, they're not medically trained, they're combat lifesaver trained, but their skills are very limited. And so I was going through another iteration of that in preparation for deployment. And we collected our casualties. They're dummies, right? They're not real people or anything like that. They're mannequins with injuries. And we put them on the stretcher. We were walking, and we were heading back to our aid station. The instructors said, "Okay, everybody stop." And it was like what they did was they said basically, "All right, we're reassessing the patients because, of course, over a period of time, your patients." They may start getting worse. Their injuries may not appear to be bad, but things may have changed. And so they said, okay, we need to reassess the patients. We need to triage them again. And it must be 120 coming up. Although they slowed down again. Interesting. So yeah, and so everybody reassesses. Now somebody is supposed to take charge and start saying, okay, this patient is now number 1 in line. This patient is number 2, number 3, on and on and on. And then the rear element is you're not seriously wounded, that they're going to be okay. But who are the ones that need the care the quickest, the most? Once we get to the aid station, and so they but they tell everybody what the expectation is, and they say go. Well, there was a person who was higher ranking than me next to me, right? And this person sat there, didn't. Certainly been a medic way longer than I have. Didn't say anything. And so I'm looking around and like nobody's. So I stood up and said, okay, number 1, I just, I just did the best I could. And at the end, after we completed the training, the excuse from that person was, I wanted to see if you knew what you were doing. And in my mind, I'm like, no, that's just a bunch of BS. Because what it really came down to was, because of your rank, you hadn't been a field medic, or line medic as they call it, in some time, and so you didn't want to appear to be foolish, you didn't want to lose face in front of everybody. So if that's how you are in training now, what's going to happen when the real thing happens downrange? Hopefully you don't want to find out, but what if the real thing happens and you're like, well, I wanted to see if my junior NCOs knew what they were doing, so I just kind of stood back. And it always kind of blew my mind that was their reasoning for not speaking up. Instead of saying, because of course if they admit the truth, that would have put them in a bad light But they basically admitted the truth was, I didn't know what I was doing. I was in over my head, and thankfully somebody stepped up and saved the day. You know. But the world is full of people like that. They're afraid to step up and at least do something. I mean, sometimes something is better than nothing. But people like to, well, I don't know. Gee whiz, I don't know. And so when you step up, then people don't like that either because it makes them look bad. So, that story. The end. Yeah, I'm the a-hole, as they always say. I'm the bad guy. So the moral of the story is, bringing it back to Bob Ross. Everybody is capable of driving a train on Zampatch grade. There you go. There's my Bob Ross moment of the day. If I can do it, you can. All right, 6.8 kilometers to Dresden Mitte Track 5. That's our via that's our via location, and then we'll go. I think we're going to pull into. I wonder if we're going to loop off over here to this yard. Find out once we pass that via location. I thought that was our stopping point, but that's our via point. Just like everybody's capable of, if you have the means and you can play Microsoft Flight Simulator, you have the means to fly those planes. You have the ability. You just don't think you do. I didn't think I would either, but look at me now. Everybody has a passion of some kind. And if you allow that passion to flow over into other parts of your life, I think, you'll be like, man, this is bad. This is a lot of fun. I don't know what I was worried about. I mean, I'm still nervous when I come in for a landing, even if I'm on an ILS approach, because I know nothing about trains, but I give it a go and also stream it, and I don't give a monkey what people think. Exactly. But the same thing though. Oh, there was ants there. Go back to front that here. If you can do it, that means anybody can do it. You know. Yeah, we have a laugh when we go past the station a little bit, go speeding a little too much or whatever. But it's, you know, if we can do it, anybody can. A lot of people can't be bothered because they're worried about, oh, what if this happens, or oh, somebody's going to come in and say that, you know, I don't know. If people want to come in and start talking silliness, well, okay, I'm not going to acknowledge you after a while. I'm not going to encourage your silliness. If it's like if you know, if people are having to go or whatever, like, you know, Nick and Amilla sometimes, and sometimes Josh and Amilla, or Bex and Nick, and whoever, you know, if you guys have a go at one another and have a laugh, it's okay. But if somebody else comes in and starts talking off the wall of silliness, then it's like, yeah, that's not what this stream is about. I gotta say, I think my driver's a little overdressed for driving a freight train. I mean, he looks sharp, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, no. That's like way overdressed for a freight train. I love my audience. I was gonna say that. And I don't mean it in a romantic way or whatever, but I do like the people who come in. You know, we all know each other, I think, really well. Bex was I'm in Germany. We are on our way to Dresden. Me, physically, I'm in the recliner. not that my recliner is reclined, but I'm sitting here in the living room. So to answer both of those questions, so we left Reisa way back there. So we traveled around, and we are coming into Dresden to bring these shipping containers. That's what we're doing. So we will be wrapping up once we park this bad boy. Don't blame you. Might as well become, yeah. Well, it's the only place I can really sit. I don't have any other chair really. I do have the other chair, but that's over by my little hodgepodge computer desk, and that's the squeaky leather chair, which it would annoy people, I think, after a while. And it's too high. I'm right at the perfect level here with the TV, so. So I would probably fall asleep if I reclined the recliner and tried to play. It wouldn't be very comfortable. Probably be comfortable, but it wouldn't be very practical. That's what I mean. I'm glad, I know I have I guess like a core audience. Bex was the unexpected addition to the audience. But that was thanks to Mick, who has told people about my channel whenever he streams, and I'm in there in his chat. He'll ask me what the plans are for tomorrow. Oh, it's all good.
Ziva.
Alright, here's our final via point here.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Alright, we are in 1000 hertz magnet, so we're going to slow down. Down to about 40. We don't get dinged for speeding. A little bit slower than I wanted, but that's okay. We're just going to coast along here. Yeah, a very good addition indeed. Happy to have you along, thanks. I do get a laugh when you and Mick play Astroneer, though. That's good fun. Alright, came out from under the magnet. Alright, so we are stopping there. Now that's interesting that I guess that a freight train, even if it's not like chemicals or something like that, that it would, during the day, it would stop at a major train station, like the Dresden Hauptbahnhof. I would have expected it to be like we would drive through and then stop, like down here somewhere. And maybe they don't stop, you know, this is just, they have to end the service here. But, you know, considering the time of day, this is that rush hour period. Hey, we're here because we enjoy your company. Well, thank you. I enjoy yours too. I have a laugh when you guys play FIFA and you get those terrible calls because the referees are jackasses in the game like they are in real life. Uh-oh. What are you talking about? I was below the thing.
Zwangsbremsung.
That didn't make any sense.
Zwangsbremsung.
Oops, that's not what I wanted.
Zwangsbremsung. Zugbeeinflussung.
Huh, interesting. We gotta wait for the brakes to release. I don't know how we got dinged on that one. We weren't speeding. That was kind of weird. There we go. I hear them releasing now. This time, of course, we are on a slight incline. There we go. We got moving again. I don't know. Maybe I missed something, but it was like we came under the 1000 hertz magnet, and I was like, we were below the recommended speed, I thought. Very strange. Or I may have missed acknowledging the yellow back there, because there was a yellow before the red. It may have been that too.
Zugbeeinflussung.
So it looks like we're going to have a very... Let's see, where's our stop marker there? Okay, yeah, very little wiggle room with the red.
Sifa.
Yeah, I may have missed that, Nick. I thought I acknowledged it, but maybe I missed it. Oh, this is like the brakes are still on. Like the brakes didn't fully release. Like.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zwangsbremsung. Zwangsbremsung.
Wow.
Zwangsbremsung.
It was like it just hit the magnet, and then it was like
Zwangsbremsung.
Wow.
Zwangsbremsung.
It's not given
Zwangsbremsung. Zugbeeinflussung.
It doesn't even give you time. It's like, bam, there's the magnet, and you're screwed. That's really strange. Like, if we just hit the 500 hertz magnet right, probably right there. Oops. Yeah, but I thought I couldn't even acknowledge, it didn't even give me time to acknowledge it. It just threw on the brakes. That's very strange. Huh. Alright. I think the brakes are released again. All we gotta do is crawl up there to our stopping point and we'll wrap this thing up. Well, at least we can get the train moving again without too much fuss. I'm going to switch over here to this side as we come into our stopping point. I knew that was going to happen. That's what happens when you overdress for a freight route. There we go. All right. That's that. We should get a gold, I think. There we go. That's what I like to see. All right. Well, that's going to be it for now. I will see you all in about an hour and a half on Flight Sim. Oh, look at that. Hey, we even got an achievement out of that. One service completed on the Nahverkehr Dresden route. Woohoo. Yay me. Anyway, I will see you all in about an hour and a half. Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're going to have a nice flight to Genoa. We talked about that yesterday, so do tune in for that. Driver covering for someone else. Maybe Mick. That could be. Yeah, he might be a passenger driver, and they said, hey, can you drive this train? And he didn't have time to put on some coveralls. So yeah, be back in an hour and a half. Nice, should be a very quick flight, I think. Nice scenery, so we'll be enjoying that. So